So like all of us, there are many influences that I've had in my life in terms of from my parents, from my education. I've also been fortunate to have the opportunity to travel quite widely. And one of the things that has really brought home to me is that throughout the world, talent is universal, but for many people, opportunity isn't. So the question for me then is, well, what if we could do something about that? And over the course of my life, I had the opportunity to go out to Africa to work earlier on in my life. And when I came back to the UK, I got involved in charities and involved in community projects. And then just a few years ago, those two things came together with some fundraising that I was asked to get involved in. And what started out as a relatively simple one-off exercise to raise some money very quickly became something much more than I ever imagined. So we started out with a small farming project, relatively small amount of land, with the aim to feed a group of orphan children. And whilst going out to Kenya to visit that project and to make sure that the orphan children existed and the land existed before we gave away some money, I met a young boy called John and was told his family story, such that even though he'd done very well in school, he wasn't going to be able to attend secondary school. Quite simply, his mother, who was bringing up her family, was unable to afford the fees to pay for his school education. So my wife and I decided to help out, and for us it was just a personal one-off exercise, just to be able to help one child to have an education that we'd all been fortunate to have. And what happens, I think, with some of these things is when you put passion, when you have a real purpose to what you're doing, one thing quite often leads to another. And so from that very early beginning back in 2011 with John, who was our very first scholarship, by the end of that year we ended up with 5 children receiving scholarships. The following year it went to 32 and then 47, and we now have over 60 children who are currently receiving Red Rubber Ball Foundation scholarships to continue their secondary schooling. The thing with passion is that the vision just keeps growing. So the next part of the project became a football academy. So in Nairobi we help boys and girls through the medium of football, again with their education and with their life in general. And just last year we had over 600 children take part in those programs. What's also been fantastic is that we've had the support of Grandma Sarah Obama. Now Grandma Sarah is the grandmother of the US President, Barack Obama, who became interested in our work right from the very beginning and has been a great supporter. So all of our projects have had her personal blessing, and she knows more than anybody in many ways because of her own family circumstances. So she's been a keen local supporter of education projects, helping out with mums and grannies clubs in her own village, and also supporting children through school herself. But also within her family, she's seen the direct evidence of what education can do, because from her home, her son, Barack Obama Sr., was able to get a scholarship to continue his schooling, and one generation later, her grandson became President of the USA. And that's all because of the value, the power, if you like, of education. So you might wonder what this has got to do with a leadership coaching company. Well, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an aspiring leader, whether you're a young person just starting out on life, or whether you're somebody in disadvantaged parts of the world, in many ways the message is the same. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. So consistent with this message of choice, passion, vision and action, the Red Rubber Ball Foundation achieves this by providing children with an opportunity to further their ambitions. And it also gives them the tools to remove some of those blocks by providing them with an opportunity to continue their education. What's more, for sponsors, donors and supporters, it gives them that opportunity to make a difference and change lives.